Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Bash Plays. In today's episode, we're going to be starting a new campaign of Harry Potter Miniatures Adventure Game. We're going to be doing a campaign of the Chamber of Secrets Chronicle box. This is the campaign of this. This is the new one. The campaign is a 10-part campaign. You obviously go in order, so it's like you're playing the film basically. In scenario 1, which we're about to see, it's Harry and Ron in the flying Ford Anglia, and let's see if they can escape from the Whomping Willow. Let's get down to the table. So here we are, guys. The table setup. It's quite an easy setup on this scenario. Simply just the Ford Anglia marker, and I've put down 2 objective markers. I could place up to 4. These objective markers, they represent air currents, because the way we win this scenario are the Harry and Ron essentially have to escape from the Ford Anglia. Obviously they can't do that whilst it's moving, so we've got to crash land. It's this scenario, obviously the Ford Anglia is kind of going out of control, so that means we're going to end up having to crash land into the Whomping Willow, which isn't here yet because we're still flying. The only action the Ford Anglia can do is move. To move it, we roll 3 dice. For every success, you move up to 2 spaces. In this game, a 3+ is a success. We also gain a scenario point for every 6 or symbol. So that would gain us 1. We could then move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That now classes as adjacent. When you are adjacent to an air current or the objective marker, 5s and 6s then count as a scenario point. However, as I said earlier, 1s and 2s are failures. They would then get us a dark power counter. Dark power counters will come into play at the end when we come to land into the Whomping Willow, basically to see how angry it is. So we have to keep flying. Every time we start adjacent to a marker, all air currents are removed and then placed again back down at least 8 spaces from the Ford Anglia. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then again, we'll move. Keep flying. Every 6 or failure is extra scenario points or dark power points. And the aim of the scenario is once we've got 4 scenario points, we can spend them to then place the Whomping Willow within 6 spaces from the Ford Anglia. I believe it's 6. So we place it within 6. Once it then lands, so again, it's the reason why it's forcing you to place them further apart is so that you gather more dark powers. Because once we have hit the Whomping Willow, we're going to roll dice equal to the amount of dark power and take a damage for every success. If it's 10 or more, then we lose. If not, Harry and Ron escape the vehicle and all is good. And then we can move on to scenario 2. So put these back out. 6. So we will draw a Chronicle card every time a air current marker is removed. So potentially these, in this game, they won't be doing too much, but it's all about seeing if we can get more Chronicle points. That'll help us further on in the campaign, or if we can get scenario points, they'll help us now, because that'll help boost up quicker to get to the 4. So for our first activation, we're simply just going to move. So we've got 2 successes, 6 and a 4, and a failure. So that's 1 dark power, but thankfully 1 scenario point, and we're going to move 4 squares. Because it's a multiple space model, we can only move orthogonally, can't move diagonally. That's it. That was in this scenario. That is simply turn 1 over, so we'll go to the next turn. So moved 1, 2, 3, we'll stay there. However, we did fail, so that is another dark power. So, start of this turn, turn 3, we are now adjacent to an objective marker. So this means we score scenario points on a 5 or 6. And we've got 2 6s, so that's 2 scenario points. However, it was another failure. So that's that. We started a turn adjacent to 1, so that means all markers are removed, and 1 is placed back within 8. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have to draw a card. So, you see that there? That says gain 1 scenario point. So that helps us massively. And in the campaign game, if you use a Chronicle card, you put it back in the deck and shuffle, unless it says otherwise. So we get another scenario point. I think we just go ahead and spend the 4, because we all know how unlucky I can be. So I'm going to spend 4 and place the Whomping Willow within at least 6 spaces away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't need the air currents anymore. And let's just try and crash into the Whomping Willow. Excellent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are adjacent. Now we must roll a number equal to the number of dark power dice, which is 3. However, these do explode, so we should be fine, unless if I'm unlucky enough to roll low. No. So we take 2 damage. That's nowhere near 10. That is it. Harry and Ron chucked out Ford Anglia. So there we have it, guys. That was a nice, quick, simple, easy scenario. I don't think even I could have failed that one. I would have needed to roll a lot of 1s and 2s and then a lot of successes on the dark power dice. As you can see, that scenario isn't really what the most of the game's like. It's a lot of special rules that change how the main game plays. But this one's all about this story of Chamber of Secrets. So look forward to episode 2 and we'll see what happens then. Cheers, guys. Thank you.